Hello and welcome to Your Gift, Your Increase Smart Start Business Coaching Intensive. Yes, we're still in module number 1, the launch, but this is lesson number 2. So I thank you for hanging on in there, and I hope that you have made tremendous progress in throughout these particular lessons. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So here in lesson number 2, these are the things that we're going to be talking about. Things you must consider before you start. This is so good. A few things you need to know before you leap or launch. And then we're going to pause for a moment, and then I'm going to ask you to do several different exercises, okay? So let's go ahead and delve in. We got a lot to cover. All right, starting a business will expose and uncover and reveal so many things, okay? So as you're on this journey, don't be afraid. This is just everything that needs to come up. Everything that's in you got to come up, okay? We talk about the fears. If you're still struggling and having challenges with some fears of starting or beginning, talk to me. Talk to me. Do the lessons too, because the mindset work and the mindset videos that I send to you, I want you to look at those. I want you to journal, all right? Don't skip those steps. This is trying to prepare your mindset. Remember, it's 90% mindset, 10% skill. Even as it relates to your business, your mind is what's going to be the driving force for your business. So we want to deal with the fears. Because one thing about fear, and let me say this, is that fear is inevitable. Fear is not going anywhere, okay? But you just have to begin to now say, you know what? With this fear, I'm going to move forward. I'm going to do it afraid, right? I'm going to get me a co-partner, a co-laborer, a coach, which you just done. By you inviting me on this journey, you're saying, Coach J, I need you in the times when I'm most fearful, and that I need you to, be praying for me. But then in our sessions, I need you to help me with these things that are really, challenging me. Okay. And you talk through those. Okay. But you got to do the work. Most of all, you have to do the work. All right. So then also failure. I want you to get a different perspective on failure. Okay. Because failing is going to happen. Failing is necessary. Failing is going to, if you should fail in any particular area, because it might not be the entire business, it might be a particular strategy, a campaign that you work on, and you feel like it didn't go according to plan, you weren't able to reach your goal, so you feel like a failure. But remember, failure is an event. Failure is an event. It's not a label. Don't wear it as a label. It's not who you are. Okay, so you're not failure. And then look at failure as a way of you being your tuition towards success. Failure is your tuition towards success. And then facts, okay? Don't run from the facts. Facts are facts. Data don't lie. But like I said, we're going to allow truth to overrule facts. But I want you to deal with the fact. The fact of the matter, I don't have money to start. Fact of the matter, I don't have a business idea. Whatever the fact is, let's deal with the fact. Let's talk through it. Okay, don't come into the session with me without you having something to work on. Okay, so don't just try to cover up and pretend that you have all this worked out and worked through. Okay, freedom. Yeah, you're gonna see like, man, I want to have that kind of freedom where I can wake up when I want to. Well, to be honest, as a business owner, you're gonna have to do a good little sacrifice. But you do have the level of flexibility, right? You could take off your vacation. I'm looking forward to that day. And then also it just uncovers and reveals the type of future. Just think, I want you to do an exercise with me, the power of imagination before we move any further. The power of imagination. And I want you to just think about your future. That, man, 5 years from now, and I'm not going to even say 5 years, maybe 2 years from now, where would I be if I leaped? Seeing yourself, you've leaped, and now look at me now. So it's like the power of imagination, imagining yourself in that place where you're experiencing the freedom, you're experiencing the flexibility. Man, financially, you're not struggling anymore. Man, can you imagine that? And I want it to come from imagination to manifestation. And that's what we want. And so this really has to become real to you. You have to want this bad enough And so you have to be able to say, okay, I'm gonna uncover all this stuff, Coach Jay. I need all this stuff uncovered, all these struggles, challenges, things in my mind, things in my head, because I see my future, and my future is big, and my future is bright. Okay. So the question becomes, what's stopping you? What's stopping you? Like I said, if you got to pause and you got to just kind of give thought to that and pray about it. What's stopping you from moving forward? There's so many things that can stop us and hinder us. And look what I have here. Know thy own self and be true to thy own self. So I can only help you when you begin to be honest and real with you. Okay. Do you want to be your own boss? And I hope the answer is yes. Are you willing to do what it takes to leap, to launch? I hope the answer is yes. Okay. So the question becomes, what do you see? What would you start if you knew you wouldn't fail? Pause and think about that. What is it that you really want to do? If you knew you wouldn't fail, or failure wasn't even nowhere in the equation, what would you leap, jump, and do? Write that on a piece of paper. That right there. Okay. And I'm going to help you talk through, because remember, we're talking about a business. I'm not talking about no hobbies here. You know, like I tell individuals, I'm talking about your RGAs, your revenue generating activity. That's what we want to find. What is it that we could do to make us some money? But the question becomes, what is it that you would really do if you knew you wouldn't fail? You knew that if I launched up and I did it, God, I'll be so fulfilled. What is that? And whatever that is, that's what we're going to work on. And so for those of you that's like, Coach, I have no clue what I'm going to do, I want you to really just think about some of your gifts and your talents and your skills, okay? And I'm also share with you a few nuggets and a few tips about some businesses that kind of just to stir up some business ideas, just in case you've come to the table and you have no idea of what you want to do. And so I have listed here a few business ideas. And I want you to go through these business ideas, you know, WordPress support, career coaching, email marketing, meals to go. There's so many different type of businesses that you can start. Virtual, you know, video production, Instagram consulting, man, you name it, whatever is your cup of tea. You can try, we can figure out how to monetize it if we can. All right. But these are just some ideas for those of you that's like, I don't even know where to begin. And I didn't go into much detail about these because I want you to do your work. I want you to do your homework. When you see something that interests you, go to Google, and then it'll tell you what particular apps or what particular websites to go to so you can learn more about those particular business ideas. Okay. Remember, these ideas is to monetize ideas, which can make you some money. Okay. Drop shipping, print on demand, translation. I was thinking about that the other day. What if I learn another language? Oh God, I would be cutting edge. Y'all wouldn't be able to keep up with me. But just think of those individuals that have bilingual and multilingual and know various languages and translations. They'll make so much money. But all of these are good things. Virtual assistants. Come on. I had that little portion even within my business to train up virtual assistants. So that's good too. Online tutoring. Come on, we're trying to just say, if you don't say you don't have no ideas to make you some extra money, get your extra stream of income. So what business is perfect for me? Things to consider, okay? Your skills and your experience. All right. So ask the question, what are my skills? Don't just ask the question, make a list of some of your skills, areas of experience, all right? Places that you've worked, what you've learned. Come on, all of this is your intellectual property. All this is your experiences, and it determines your value, okay? Your interests and your hobbies. But remember, I'm not concerned necessarily about these hobbies and these interests unless they can make us some money, all right? And generate some revenue. Your personality trait, know what works for you. Some things may take you out of your comfort zone, but then also, you know, what's your sweet spot. All right. And then also really work part-time, because like I said, maybe you're not ready to leap into it full time. So you might have to do it part-time on the side. That's what I was doing at the time. I would have my Fridays and Saturdays and even Sundays locked down with speaking engagements, with interviews, podcasting, trainings for leadership, for leaders on Saturdays at various churches and organizations. So I had to work around my 9 to 5. My bread and butter, okay? So you have to ask yourself the question, this particular business idea, a venture, can I do it part-time for now to also just gain more experience? So I wouldn't have to eat so much capital to make an investment. All right, so these are some questions that you need to ask. I'm telling you, don't run through this. Don't run through this. And I know when people be asking me, what is this module about and all this kind of stuff? I'm telling you, it's work. But it's going to be well worth it once you put in the work, okay? So the questions you have to ask yourself, if you're working part-time right now and you're not ready to totally leap out there, you need to ask your question, what days and hours do I currently work? Because you got to balance this, and then you got to have time for family and all that good stuff. Then you have to ask yourself the question, what days and hours can I devote to my own business? And I like to encourage you, 5 hours a week, nothing less. 5 hours a week, nothing.